I wouldn't say I'm a master of anything. I'm a student of everything, especially with an electrician. Everything that I think I know could always be improved on. Very aware of my being Indigenous and being in a trade where I see no other Indigenous people working. So it's just kind of me in a group of them. But at first I was timid and I thought I'd prove myself what I know. At the time I was very scared to make a mistake, very quiet, very, I'll watch somebody else do it before I do it, not confident in my skills at trying anything. And then as that time progressed, I realized and saw that everyone makes mistakes. At the same time I entered the trade, it was the same time I became sober, and I knew before I was being judged and looked at because I was proving the stereotype. But coming out here, when I promised myself I became an electrician apprentice, I wouldn't complain, I wouldn't act like I did before.
What stands out to me about the professionalism and the work ethic of Indigenous tradespeople is that they work to prove themselves. And in many situations, they have to work harder to prove themselves, to be competent, to be skillful. And I think when they bring that with them to the job site, they usually exceed expectations.
I can feel the eyes on me, but is it really eyes on me with judgment, or is that just me judging their eyes? So I focus on just doing the job as best I can and not pay attention to what I think people are thinking. If someone's critical of your work, you can take in that information without being self-critical. But they'll try and expect you to have a reaction. So my best reaction to that is no reaction. If you can be disrespected by a word, you give that word more power than you give your own choice, your own free will.
The impact of the small microaggressions or the small jokes can accumulate and eventually make that person feel unwanted on that job site. If that trickles down, you're going to fracture your work culture.
All my life I was trying to fit into a group of people, or any group of people, to be part of something that I wasn't even part of. I figured if I dressed like them, talked like them, I'd be part of something, so it was very problematic for me as a person. And then when I came out here, something spoke to me that said, this is where you're supposed to be. In the end, everybody thinks what they're going to think. You can't control that, so you got no point worrying about it. That's how it's helped me, to realize that, to know that I'm worthy.